Welcome back. This is going to be another BattleTech unboxing video. The last of the pre-Gen Con BattleTech unboxing videos, unless something somehow comes up in the next day, which I doubt. But you never know. So, in case you didn't see the other video, just before we begin, just so you know, this is what one of the clan emblems looks like. This is for Clan Star Adder. This came from the Kickstarter that Catalyst launched like 3 years ago at this point. Unfortunately, not available on their website because I'd buy some of the others if they were. But hopefully, their next Kickstarter will have some of these or all of them. I don't know what the odds of them having ones for all 20 of the clans and all 5 of the Inner Sphere houses and Comstar and the Free Rassilahag Republic and whoever else they included last time, because there were a lot of choices. Whereas this one's going to focus on the mercenary groups, so I expect it to mainly be like the Northwind Highlanders, the Kellhounds, the Wolf's Dragoons, maybe Team Bonsai, you never know. That's one of the little shout outs to other 80s properties. It's a team that's literally Buckaroo Bonsai, only in the Battletech universe. The symbols are like the back-to-back Bs and kind of like a diamond shape. So, yeah, that's a real thing in Battletech. It's what you're into. Also, if you ever look into the artwork, a lot of the personalities are clearly modeled after real people. Like, I want to say Natasha Kerensky, and some of hers is supposed to look like Linda Hamilton. And I think one guy's kind of supposed to look like Rod Stewart, unless I'm misunderstanding who he's supposed to be. But anyway, enough of that. Hopefully there will be shirts. Don't know if there'll be all of them. We'll all have to see later on this year. But what we're here for today. This is the Clan Invasion box. This came out from the Kickstarter, like I said. So this would have been a couple years after the other 2 boxes were released. Now, this, you will unlikely to see this box on a store shelf because this is the Kickstarter exclusive box. The contents are the same, but it's a different cover. And looking at the back here, I do believe I'll be able to show you what the front of the normal box looks like. But similar to the other 2 boxes, you have a brief overview of the contents, because again, you want to know what's in the box before you buy it. So, and as with the others, the sides here are really just, the BattleTech logo and a little bit of artwork. And then a note on the artwork here on the front. These are Clan Jade Falcon mechs here on the front. I mainly know that from the paint scheme, and right here you can begin to see the Clan Jade Falcon emblem. And if you can note here, this is a Lyran mech that is being stomped into the dirt here on what appears to be a lunar surface of some kind. I don't know what unit it is, but that's the unit insignia there. Someone a little more knowledgeable on specific units will be able to tell you, but I'm more of a large picture kind of guy, so like I couldn't even tell you which galaxy the Jade Falcons are here, because I personally don't care for the green and yellow color scheme they use. I think the yellow kind of clashes personally, but anyway, so onto the interior of the box. So let's cut the cellophane off here and try not to cut myself in the process. Which shouldn't happen. The last time I cut myself, I was about 9 years old, so it was a while ago. Probably before a lot of you folks were born. Actually, before my cameraman was born, unless I'm mistaken. So there's cellophane to the side here. And open her up. And as with all new board game boxes, it's very tight. Too tight. I'm going to fail the challenge, not even going to be able to open it. This will be a real short video. Good Lord. Okay. So, right off the bat, we have another short story. This one is probably not in line with the others. This is a different author, Blaine Lee Pardoe in this case. Yeah. Those of you watching the other BattleTech stuff at the moment will know there's a little bit going on there. I'll let you search for any information you want on that. I'm not going to comment. So, like the others, you have a little bit of artwork back here in the back. This appears to actually be some of the older artwork, because this is some of the work that's in the old TROs. Whereas, yeah, this looks to be a little bit newer artwork here. These are two of the clan mechs, the Mad Cat and the Summoner. And I'll actually, we'll just go ahead over it right now. Note that there are two names for this, the Timberwolf and the Mad Cat. The Timberwolf is what the clans refer to these machines as. The Mad Cat is what the Inner Sphere people call them, because whenever they showed up, they had no idea who these people were, and they had to give them names. In the particular case of the Mad Cat, that name comes from the fact that it appears to be a cross between a marauder and a catapult, and their targeting computers kept flickering between the two. The designation for the marauder is MAD, and for the catapult it is CAT, and so it earned the name the Mad Cat. Its later iterations are just referred to as the Mad Cat, the Mark II, 3, and 4. They dropped the Timberwolf name. Even the clans took up the name. The Summoner here is the clan name for this, whereas the Thor is what it is called in the Inner Sphere. I don't know for sure, but I believe that's because it looks a whole lot like the Thunderbolt, and Thor being the god of lightning. You know, the Lyrians would have been the first ones to come in contact with this. That's also how you can tell the names. Several of them have Japanese-sounding names. That's because House Kurita made first contact with those particular machines, whereas ones like the Thor would have been House Steiner made contact first and they named them. So that's where some of the varying names come from, like why the Direwolf is called a Daishi. It's a Japanese name. So that's a little bit of in-universe lore for you there. Like with the other book, you've got some just, terms that you might not be acquainted with from not reading BattleTech fiction. So it's just a brief glossary. And like the others, it's a 20-page long little story here. I'm assuming this involves fighting the clans, because that is an elemental. That's probably an elemental. Yeah, that's a Ghost Bear elemental there on the cover. There's the Ghost Bear emblem right there. They are one of the clans in question. Not all the clans invaded all at once, only a few of them did. So, as with all the other boxes, your 2d6, which if you bought them all, you're now up to 6d6, and you're well on your way to having a collection of far more dice than you're ever going to need. As with the others, you have another collection of cards. This one also has the Alpha Strike cards, the Timberwolf. Now, the clans use different designations. The Inner Sphere uses a bunch of gobbly-gob letters and numbers, which typically, if you know how to read them, tell you who uses them. Like if it's a K variant, it's probably for House Kurita. If it's an L variant, it's probably for House Lao. So these, however, since all the clans use them, usually there's a prime variant, and then they just go by letters. The A, the B, the C, the D. I imagine there's a lore reason that I just simply don't know what each one stands for. I know the U variant is for underwater. So that's what leads me to believe the A, the B, and the C do actually correspond to something, but I don't know enough about it to tell you that for certain. So this is the A variant for the Timberwolf, and presumably on the back of this is a different variant, possibly the Prime. And each of those have different weapon loadouts, different armors, just like the others. So now we come to the miniatures, and we're going to try something a little bit different here. This is, I believe, and I have to apologize because I'm not nearly as good with the clan mechs. I believe this is an Executioner, which has the distinction of being the tallest battle mech, or at least it did at the time it was produced. And as you can see, this is definitely, a really big machine here. And I'll have another one here by its side to compare to here in a moment. So yeah, one giant pile of death there. Compared to, say, I believe Blackhawk is the name on that one. Give me just a moment here, folks, because I want to actually get this right. So I'll make sure I'm telling you what these things actually are correctly. Because like I said, I actually am not really good with the clan machines. So, there we go. I actually have to get another cards. Okay, so yeah, the taller one there, as I mentioned, is the Executioner. Its inner sphere name is the Gladiator. The one next to it, the much smaller one, is the Nova, and yes, its inner sphere name is the Blackhawk. I believe, a little side bit of trivia here, that one actually has an inner sphere version as well, if I recall correctly, where they basically reverse engineered them and built their own. I believe it is the Blackhawk that does that. So now, as you can see here on the Blackhawk, it's clearly much smaller. If you look there on the arms, one of the variants obviously has a whole lot of lasers on each of the arms. It's basically just a rough and tumble little laser machine. And so that is the Blackhawk. So I'll move these two out of the way here. The other smaller machine here is the Puma. The Adder is the clan name, and then the Puma is the inner sphere designation for it. And as you can see, it's also like a little bipedal kind of hunched over deal. Actually looks an awful lot like a smaller version of the Daishi, which I probably won't have a picture of here, but if I do, I'll show you. Then we have the Grendel, which is, the Mongrel is the clan name, and the Grendel is the inner sphere name for this guy. Really can't tell you a whole lot about this one. This was the one that when I was looking at the contents of the box set, I was kind of like, what on earth is that one? The others I had at least seen somewhere before. In one of the video games, or the card games, or the WizKids game, somewhere. And then here is the one that for the longest time was actually the symbol of the game, the Mad Cat, or the Timberwolf, as it was originally called. And in terms of game rules, this thing is definitely like one of those greater than the sum of its parts kind of machines. So, but you can see like the machine itself definitely has character to its appearance, and that's one of the big reasons why they're able to use it as the symbol for the game. You know. Now, in addition, unlike the others, we have non-mech units in this box set. We have 2 stands of infantry. These are called elementals. That's their battle armor. So inside each one is a clan warrior, genetically bred for that purpose. They are roughly 8 feet tall. The people inside, the actual armors are going to be closer to 9 or 10 once you account for the height. And they, 5 to a point, 5 points to a star versus the inner sphere's lances. So then the clans use them to augment their forces quite a bit. So you have the Clan Invasion Primer. So this will be from the fiction standpoint. Again, it'll the universe overview, the various eras, as with the other box set. It's the same emblems. There is a new emblem now because we are finally beyond the Dark Age setting into what's called the Ill Clan era, which is 3151 and onward, and that started after this was printed, so we don't have an example here in this book of that. Now, here's the first major difference. This is the 3052 map, and as you can see here, this is the invasion corridor for the clans. Also, you'll notice that houses Davian and Steiner are one gigantic force, the Federated Commonwealth. And then House Lau has lost quite a bit of territory because they tried to chew them up. And so, yeah, Comstar still controls Terra, right in the middle of everything. Then you have a few little periphery powers like the St. Ives Compact, the Free Rasselhag Republic, which is destined to be consumed by Clan Ghost Bear as it comes through to eventually become the Ghost Bear Dominion. But this is the Jade Falcons, the Wolves, and the Ghost Bears, unless I'm mistaken here. Which I believe they make this the Smoke Jaguars. So, then here, this explains some of the others. So the Clan Jade Falcons, Occupation Zone, Clan Wolf Occupation Zone, the Steel Vipers, the Ghost Bears, the Jaguars, the Nova Cats, and the Diamond Sharks. These are the clans that originally invaded, while the other clans remain back in the home worlds as like a secondary invasion force. The ultimate goal of the clans is to retake Earth. Whichever clan takes Earth will become what's called the Ill Clan, the ruler of the other clans, to unite them all, and then presumably conquer everything else and rebuild the Star League is their plan. We'll see how it works. So this details the founding of the clans and all the background involving General Kerensky and his sons. Then you got a little bit about Clan Ghost Bear with their emblem here, the Jade Falcons with theirs. I don't know all the details, but there actually is a whole story as to why the bird is clutching a katana, and it's kind of ridiculous if I recall correctly. The Smoke Jaguars ended up being totally annihilated by the Inner Sphere. Clan Wolf, who at the moment are the ones who control Terra and the current point of the setting. The Diamond Sharks, I believe it's the Nova Cats and the Steel Vipers. These are the reserve clans for the invasion. Operation Revival. And then you get into a glossary of terms for the clans, because even though they speak American English, they have a whole bunch of terms that only they use. Like for the word affirmative, it's been shortened to AF. Or whenever someone says, "This is how it is," no. For them, that would be query negative, which has been shortened to quineg. Weird things like that, while they also don't use contractions. So it's a bizarre mishmash of things like that. And you've got like a whole lot of clan terms here. And then you have the 30-25 areas here, showing the various maps, who owns what. Although that should be 3052 over here. But yeah, it is 3052. I'm just blind, can't read upside down. Okay, so like it shows you the difference. Like here it's only the major houses. Here's the little periphery powers actually named on this one. And then here the merged realm, the clan chunks, and the one or two periphery powers that they mentioned here. And then we're into the same kind of, this is different actually. Instead of BattleMechs, this talks about Omnimechs, because the clan machines are designed to have very quickly interchangeable parts, as opposed to the Inner Sphere machines, which require jury rigging to do it right. And then Elementals, they're hyper-specialized infantry, that their whole battle strategy revolves around also employing them. Whereas the Inner Sphere, they do have combined arms. They do use them, but their strategy doesn't 100% revolve around it. The clans do not. They use elementals. They typically don't use vehicles except for Clan Hell's horses and one or two of the others. They are totally integrated because they don't see the point in not using them. And then back to your, here's your other stuff you should buy. MechWarrior Destiny, I think, hasn't shown up in the others. I believe this is the RPG. So then this is the BattleMech manual, and you'll note that there's a different picture on this one. As I mentioned in the last video, later editions have different pictures, so it's an easy way to tell the editions. This Commander edition has a different picture on it as well. And then, of course, again, the giant novel page, which is still not even close to anywhere near all of them. So then you also have the rule book. This is going to be another thick rule book because it's their stripped down version of the main rules. This will also have the rules for the clan weapons, which if you were good at math, one brief look will show that they are quite superior to the Inner Sphere versions. But also, this picture is what is on the cover of the box you're likely to find in the stores. It's the Mad Cat. It is this picture right here. So without really going into it, because we've gone through the other rule book, basically, clan-specific stuff is in here. Also, there's a little bit about clan, their honor system and the bidding and things like that. It has to do with how they fight, trying to reduce waste. And then again, we have some very nice pictures of painted battle mechs. Again, to a level of detail that you're probably not going to have right off the bat. That I'll probably never have. So, and you've got the record sheets, which still use the same generic picture. So we know all that. And you'll notice even their smallest mech included here, the Puma, has quite a bit more armor than our Locust friend from the last video, which is why these 5 machines with a certain configuration are considered an even match for the 8 machines in the Game of Armored Combat set. And then, for some reason, there's record sheets for the other mechs in here too, for the Inner Sphere mechs. Huh, I'm not entirely certain what it is. Also, a little brief thing here for the battle armor squads. You need these for the elementals. Just to give you an idea of its size and armor, that's for the gladiator. So, and then, as I was noting there, the Inner Sphere machines are also in here. So I don't know if these are just other variants. I'd have to get the other book out, and we're trying to keep this brief-ish, which I'm sure I've totally failed at this point. Now this has a new map, unlike the other one, it has a giant fold-out map. This is the 3025 map. So you see it's just the main houses and some periphery states, whereas the other side is 2 years into the invasion with the occupation zones for the clans and the combined Federated Commonwealth and a bunch of other things going on here. So it's a nice map, very detailed, all kinds of planets listed on it. That's what all the little dots are in case you couldn't figure that out. Again, a very handy little card sheet here with all your modifiers and everything you're going to need to know in one nice nifty place. And again, as with the others, we have the cardboard standees to, let's see, this will triple your army size because there's 2 of each one here, it looks like. Plus you got some more, things to modify your maps. And again, the back sides, because again, facing is important in this game, front and back at any rate. And your desert, which I'm going to take that to mean that our maps in question are jungle and desert. But let's find out. So we have forest map here. Like the other one, you got some hills and some forest and stuff going on there. Desert here on the back side. Again, these are fold-up paper maps. They do have neoprene. Well, they do have map sets, and then they have neoprene versions of those maps if you want to spend a little extra money on them. So we got another forest here, or plains, I should say. Since there's not a road going across this one, I'm going to assume that means these are actually different from the ones in the Game of Armored Combat box set, but should be usable with them. And then again, a desert. So if you have both these boxes, you now have 4 maps that you can combine to make, one giant battlefield. And then the other map sets, come in sets of 6. And then they have a giant neoprene mat that has all 6 of them together as one gigantic battlefield, which you would need for like a large game of Alpha Strike, or a large game using the primary rules, the classic BattleTech rules, that will take you 3 weeks to fight through. Because the classic BattleTech game is meant for like squad level, so like lances and stars, not like not battalions like you could get away with in Alpha Strike. So unless you have more free time than you know what to do with. So that is the contents of the Clan Invasion box set from the Kickstarter. And as with the other videos, I'm going to note that we're heading to Gen Con this week, so hopefully this will get out before Gen Con. and hopefully we'll be able to get a hold of the other 2 box sets. The Alpha Strike box set, again, from what we've heard, is a mixed set of clan and Inner Sphere machines. 8 Inner Sphere machines, 5 clan machines. So once again showing that a star of clan mechs is roughly equivalent to 2 lances of Inner Sphere mechs. There'll be some new machines in there, resculpts that have different weapon loadouts, things like that. But there'll be some repeats as well. And then a new beginner box set which swaps out the Wolverine for a Vindicator, and the internal other bits might be changed to reflect more the mercenary theme of the next Kickstarter, but I don't know that for sure. We'll have to see. The Alpha Strike box set also, I believe, includes some standees for buildings and trees and the like, because you're encouraged to use like 3D terrain. They just use like the tabletop. Don't go for the hex route. But there are rules for using the hex maps because all these products include hex maps, so why not use them? So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Keep an eye out for our post-Gen Con videos where we'll hopefully have those boxes in question. We might go into some of the other BattleTech products afterwards as well, and we do plan on doing other BattleTech related videos in the future, probably about the lore, the setting, the machines, all the above. Just have to see what we come up with. So keep an eye out for those, and thank you for watching.